Hello everyone, Mario Velasco, owner broker for EP Start Realty, and today we're going to be looking into the residential real estate listing agreement exclusive right to sell form. And this is pretty much a contract between the broker and a home seller. And just to let you know, today we're just going to cover to fill in the blanks. We're not going to go into detail on every paragraph. When you have time in your own, you can go in detail and read through the whole contract so that you are familiar when you are explaining this form to your client. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, this is a contract between the broker and a seller. So in paragraph 1, you're going to fill in information about the parties, the involved parties, which is the seller. In this portion, you're going to fill in the information of the seller. And down below, you're going to fill in the information of the broker. Okay, moving on to paragraph number 2 is information about the property. Most of the times, you're going to find this information on your local, on your county or your central appraisal district. And you're going to, once you get that information, you're going to come in here and fill in the blanks. On this portion right here, you're going to fill in the lot number. This portion over here, you're going to fill in the block number. Here, you're going to fill in the subdivision. Here you're going to fill in the city. Down below here, you're going to fill in the county where it's located. And here you're going to fill in the physical address of the property. Okay, so we're going to move on to letter D, exclusions. Let's say the seller has some accessories attached to the property that he's going to take once he sells the house. And this is where you're going to list those items. One example is, let's say the seller has a storage, temporary storage installed in the backyard, and he's going to remove it. He's going to take it once he sells the house. So this is the place we're going to list that item that he's going to take once he sells the house. Moving on to letter E, this is where we ask if the property is located in is part of the homeowner association, or if it's not. If it is, we put it here. If it's not, we select this box. Okay, paragraph number 3, this is where we write down the listing price. Right here. Paragraph number 4 is the term of the listing. In the first line, we're gonna write down the starting date of this agreement. The second line, we're gonna write down the date where this agreement is gonna end. Okay, moving on to paragraph number 5, broker compensation. This is where we're gonna write down what we're gonna charge to the seller. If it's gonna be a percent, we select this box and we write down the percent we're gonna charge, a percent of the sales price. And if we're gonna charge a flat fee, then we select this box and we can write down the amount we're gonna charge. Moving on to page number 3. On number 3, there's if there's additional fees you're gonna charge the seller, this is where you list it. Or if you need to be reimbursed for something, this is where you're gonna write it down. Protection period. This means that once the contract ends, how much time after that end date you still want to be protected for compensation. Let's say the contract ends on a certain day, and here you have 30 days. So after the end of that contract, of this agreement, you still have 30 days. And let's say the house is sold within those 30 days. You as a real estate agent or broker, you're still entitled for compensation, for payment, if you are within that protection period. And this is where we write down those days. And this is up to you as a real estate agent. It could be 10, 15, 30 days. So it's up to you how many days you want to have a protection. Okay, moving on to letter F. County. All amounts payable to the broker are paid in cash, and whatever county you are located, this is where you write it down. Here we're in El Paso County. I would write down El Paso, this location. Okay. Paragraph 6, listing services. We're gonna ask the seller if he's interested on listing the property and make it public at the MLS. If he says yes, we select this box. If he doesn't want to be published in the MLS, we select this box down here. Now, most of your clients are going to say yes because, of course, they want to sell the property fast. They want the most exposure on the property. So more likely you're going to select this box. Now, once you select this box, you have two options. Letter A is saying that once you sign this agreement, you're gonna list the property in the MLS as soon as possible, and it should be within the first 5 days of the executed agreement. Or he has an option to list it in the MLS after certain days after you sign this agreement. One example would be let's say you sign this agreement and the seller says, okay, give me 10 days so I can do some painting in the house or some little remodeling. And so if that's the case, then we select this box and we write down 10 days that the property can be shown and can be published during those 10 days, because we're gonna write down a purpose over here, because owner is doing remodeling and doing some painting on the property. Okay, so those are the two options. Okay, next to page number 5 on letter B is scheduling companies. If there is a scheduling companies that are going to be involved in this agreement, in this transaction, this is where you put in the information. Okay, on letter C, key box. This is where the seller is going to give you authorization if you're going to place a key box in the property. If he's allowing you to do it, you put in yes, is authorized. If not, then you select it's not. Okay. Next, on paragraph 8, cooperation with other brokers. On these, you're going to be representing the seller as a listing agent. But there's on the other side, there's going to be possibly a buyer's agent looking at your property. And here, you're going to list the commission that you are paying to the other broker. If it's a percentage, you write it down here. If it's a flat fee, you're gonna write it down here. Now here, they're mentioning MLS participants and non-MLS brokers. So as we know, the brokers are not required to be part of the MLS. So there might be some brokers that are non-MLS, but they might have some buyers that are willing to buy the house. So then right here, you're gonna state that you're willing to cooperate with both, with MLS participants and non-MLS participants, and you're gonna write down the percentages you're gonna pay or the flat fee amounts that you're willing to pay. Okay. So next to paragraph number 9, intermediary. You're gonna ask your seller if they wanna work as intermediary status or not intermediary status. That means that if he's gonna allow you to bring the broker's buyers that are available to come and see the house and possibly write an offer to the house. So if he's willing to do that, we're gonna select intermediary status. If not, then we're gonna select this right here, no intermediary status. Moving on to paragraph 11, broker's authority. Once you list the property is gonna be displayed on the internet, and the address is gonna be exposed on the internet as well. So in case the owner, the seller is not doesn't want the listing or the address be displayed on the internet, we're gonna come down here and select these boxes that the seller does not want to list and be displayed on the internet, or seller does not want the address be displayed on the internet. Okay, next to letter C, brokers authorized to market the property with the following financing options. Now, if the property is in a good condition, more likely it's going to qualify for all the types of financing. If it's in a good condition, then we can select all of these and Texas Veteran. If the owner is willing to do owner financing, then you have the option to select this box as well. If it's not, then don't select it, and you're gonna mark it with this type of financing. Moving on to paragraph 12, seller's representation. Now here is a list of information and questions that you're gonna be talking and asking to your seller, and important questions to know the status of the property, the mortgages and all that. So in letter E, you're gonna ask him if he's not delinquent on any loans or the mortgage associated with the property. If he is, we're gonna list him here. Letter F, you're gonna ask him if the property, if he's aware of any liens or encumbrances related to the property. If there are any, we'll list him here. Letter I, if there is any employer or relocation company assisting the seller, this is we're gonna fill in the information for that company. Letter K, if the seller is aware that the property is located in a municipal utility district, this is we're gonna write it down if there is any. Okay. Special provisions is only to be used to fill special facts that are not discussed in this agreement. One example, I sometimes use it for legal descriptions that are a little different than the information asked about. So what I do is I usually type the legal description here. Sometimes they're a little different, and it has different lots, portions of lots. So I come down here and I fill in the information as shown in the appraisal district or the county. But that would be an example. But this is only to write down information that is not mentioned or items that are not included in other portions of this agreement. Okay, moving on to paragraph 19, addenda and other documents attached to this agreement. For sure, you're going to need the first two, information about brokerage services. You will select this and fill in that form and present it to your client. And seller's disclosure notice, you can select this and have your seller fill in a seller's disclosure notice. Everything else, it really pertains to any special situation. If you need it, you select it and go fill in the form. If there is one that is not located here, you select here this box and you write down the form that you're going to be attaching to this agreement. Okay, on page 10, letter I, if seller is a foreign person, we select here. If it's not a foreign person, we select here. Okay, we're to the end of the form on page 11. This is where the signatures are required. On the left, we have the information of the brokerage. And down below, you can select the option if the broker is going to sign this agreement, or if the sales agent is going to sign, then you select this one at the bottom, and the sales agent signs and dates this. On the right, you have two spaces to be filled and signed for the sellers. Now we see this line on every page. This is going to be self-populated once you enter all the information about the property. This is going to be self-populated with the address of the listing. And also one important thing, on every page of this agreement, at the bottom there's an area where the sales agent or the broker need to initial, and the sellers have to initial on this other side. And this is on every page of this agreement. Okay, guys, so this is a form. This is the agreement between the broker and the seller. And like I said, we covered all the blanks that need to be filled. And as I mentioned before, in your own time, please read and get familiar with every paragraph on this agreement so that you can clearly explain to your seller when you are presenting this form. Okay, I hope this video helps. And I want to thank you for your time. And if you have any questions about this form or any other form, you can call me at 915-329-5829. If you work for another brokerage, you can contact your broker. And this concludes this little review of the form. I want to thank you for your time and hope to see you in another video. Thank you.